Hey there, Kipsters. We're looking at objectives 1A.5, which is reviewing absolute value. We're going to start with what the absolute value of a number means. So when you see those double bars, that's saying absolute value, and when it's asked what is the absolute value, it's asking how far away is that number from 0. So what I'm going to do is, if I want to find the absolute value of 5, I'm going to put a spot at 5. I'm going to count how many spaces away is it from 0. I don't care about what direction I go. I only care about number of spaces. And the distance from 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spots. So the absolute value of 5 is 5. Let's look at a negative example. If I have the absolute value of -3, you see the absolute value bars, that means how far away is -3 from 0. So again, I don't care about direction, I just care about spots. -3, of course, is 3 spaces away from 0. So the absolute value of 3, or -3, is 3. So the one thing you should see here pretty clearly is that the absolute value of number is always positive. Let's look at some examples without the number line. So if I want to find the absolute value of 20, I know 20 is 20 spots away from 0, and it's positive 20. If I want to find the absolute value of -14, I know the absolute value of a negative number is going to be positive, and -14 is 14 spots away from 0. Go ahead and stop the video here, try C and D on your paper, and then press play after you've tried. Okay, if you found the absolute value of 12, it should have been 12. If you found the absolute value of -144, doesn't matter how big it is, it's still 144 spots away from 0. Now, let's use that skill to actually simplify expressions with absolute value. So if I'm going to simplify an expression like this, the absolute value of 6 minus 8 minus the absolute value of 12 minus 7, I need to remember that the absolute value sign is a grouping symbol. So in the last objective that you reviewed, you know that to simplify expressions, you're going to always do grouping symbols first and then go on to exponents, multiplication, division, and addition and subtraction. So I'm going to model how I would simplify this expression, and I'm going to ask you to try another. If I'm looking at this expression, I'm going to do first what's inside the grouping symbols. I have 6 minus 8, and I have 12 minus 7. If I have 6 minus 8, I need to remember my rules for integers. I'll kill subtraction first. That's 6 plus -8. Since I'm adding two numbers with different signs, I subtract the numbers. 8 minus 6 is 2. And since the negative is bigger, it becomes -2. But I still need to find the absolute value of that number. Minus 12 minus 7, I need to remember my integer rules, and I'll kill subtraction. 12 plus -7. Since they're different signs, I subtract the numbers. The number is 5. Since the positive is bigger, it is going to be positive 5. But I still need to find the absolute value. So if I find the absolute value of each of those numbers, I have the absolute value of -2, which is 2, minus the absolute value of 5, which is 5, and then I subtract. You might be able to do that in your head, or I can kill subtraction. I know that's 2 plus -5. And since the numbers are different signs, I subtract them, and I have 3. Since the negative is bigger, it should be -3. So you can see here that I did what was inside the grouping symbols first. I didn't have any exponents. Didn't have any multiplication. But then I did the addition subtraction in the middle. So I was going through GEMMA just the same way you would in any other expression. Please stop the video here. Try this expression. Press play after you have tried it to check your answer. Okay, now we're going to check the answer that you just tried. You're going to do what's inside the grouping symbols first. So you have 12 minus 9. That's the same as 12 plus -9, which would be 3. Still need to find the absolute value, minus 5 minus 9, which is the same thing as 5 plus -9, which would be -4. The absolute value of 3 is 3. The absolute value of -4 is 4. So I have 3 minus 4. That's the same thing as 3 plus -4. And your answer should have been -1. Did you get it right? Good. So now I want you to try some independently. You have 5 problems that I'm going to assign to you to do independently, after which you should be ready to retake this assessment. Please complete these 5. After you're done, if you get 4 or 5 out of them, you should be ready to retake that assessment.